Hey everybody, this is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser. I'm not live today, but I do want to bring you the 7-day forecast. Sioux Falls, you can expect some clearing skies, as we did have some possibility of some showers, but that's going to dwindle away. And then in the evening, we do expect a little bit of those showers to possibly pop back up. As you go into the weekend, though, hot, steamy, sticky, muggy, those all describe what is going to be for the weekend. Uh, but some relief is expected next week. As you can see, late part of next week, Thursday, we go barely getting into uh, we're into the 70s, but I don't know if that 78 is going to actually hold. I have a feeling that's going to have to be updated as our forecast goes, because it's going to be quite a blustery cool front and cool down. So a little bit of relief. So one last blast of warm, mugging, sticky mess before we go into more fall-like temperatures, and I do see that trend continuing. One thing that I do want to point out is our risk for Monday, 40% chance of storms. That could be pretty severe depending on how things play out. And I'll show you some of the models here after a moment. First, I do want to thank our sponsors here today, Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution, as well as Refuel Nutrition, all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Addresses, as you can see them below. Check them out if you are ready to make sure that you keep that summertime physique. They can help you with all the great nutrition. They're great coaches. You know, take it from me. I was 252 pounds, went down to 165. I've maintained that for a number of years with the help of their great coaches. Contact them today or stop by and get a protein shake. And it's not that grittiness, not that nasty tasting stuff. It is just even looking at it and drinking it, taking it all in, you'll be able to know that that's something that you can stick with. The other sponsor is Prairie Pro General Contractors. You can check them out at prairieprosd.com or call them at 605 305 3546. And let me tell you, if you need a new roof, they have got over 25 years of experience, and they will certainly do you right. All right, I'm going to get to the rest of our forecast here, models. Bear with me one moment. Let's take a quick peek at that now. All right, so if I take a look at that, there it is. We're looking at a view of our European model, and I've got this pushed out a little ways, so let me go ahead and zoom that in a little bit further here. And this European model does show a likelihood where I'm talking about for Monday. So let's bring that in. As you can see, we go through Saturday and Sunday. And here comes that low pressure. Just seeing that right here. There's that low pressure. And as that front comes in, you can see where the storms, this one puts things a little bit farther north. But then it does end up getting more of north central South Dakota. Has a hard time because there's so many different time frames that this updates. So it does have a little bit of a struggle. Zoomed a little fast there, but might be able to show this a little bit better on Radar Omega. So we'll take a look at that. But that, as you can see, that's one update. Let's go ahead and take a look now at Radar Omega so that we can see what's going on there. If we take a look, this is today's SPC update. This was updated at 8 a.m. or 7:52 a.m. Central Time. As you can see, we do have marginal risk out in sections of western South Dakota all the way down to the sandhills of Nebraska and up here north. This low pressure, this was as of 4 a.m. Central Time. This is where the surface lows and highs, all the pressures were, and then this little trough here is that. And this one out here is where we're expecting that's going to be the one that's going to be stirring things up. So that's probably already pushing off, but that's the main thing at this point. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the rest of the risks for today. Our tornado risk, 0 or pretty much nothing. And then our wind threat is in here. So wind and hail are the primary threats, although I don't expect anything too significant in these areas. It is a possibility. Very low risk, but still there. All right, that's for today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current temperatures as of this update. Current temperatures we're showing Sioux Falls area is in the mid 60s, and dew points, as you can see, they're already spiking up there. 65-degree dew point in Mitchell, 68-degree temperature, 65 temperature and dew point in Pierre. And then we do have Aberdeen that does have the upper 60s as well. Pretty much generally speaking, 60s, upper 60s, mid 60s throughout much of the state. The rest of the areas, let's go ahead and shut off the SPC information. The rest of the areas around Nebraska area, we do have a few showers and thunderstorms, rumbles of thunder that are passing through. Let's take a look at the radar. That's pushing things off into a northeast direction. Probably going to hit Sioux City. You know, it's going to be quite a long time before it hits there. But you might want to carry your umbrella for folks that are in the Sioux City area later today, if this can hold things together. Let's take a look now at our Radar Omega model, HRRR, because we want to see where are these storms possibly going to fire up. Get a bigger look here. And as you can see, now this is the latest update, so it's not going to push us out too far. As you can see, some of these storms really start firing up later in the evening. These times up at the top are all Central Standard Time, or Central Daylight Time, rather. But as you can see, by 9 p.m., Rapid City starts to get a few of those storms, but it really struggles to keep things going as it pushes off to northeast or east-northeast direction. We'll do another loop of that, as you can see. And then, of course, much more majority of it out into the areas of Montana and Wyoming and out in Colorado. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at a further out model, and we'll take a look at GFS. This one was updated at 4 a.m., so obviously not as updated as this last one, but need to have something to kind of give you an idea of what could be happening as we get into Monday. All right, so let's take a quick peek at Monday. As you can see, early morning showers, like super early, like 1 o'clock in the morning early, up in northern part of South Dakota. So if those storms fire up there that early, and if the cloud cover can move out, we could have redevelopment later in the afternoon. Let's take a look. Doesn't look like it's going to be too significant. So it looks like the storms would end up being Sunday night into Monday. based on this particular weather model. So that's what we have there. And let's take a quick peek or gander, if you will, at day 2 risks. Okay, day 2 would be tomorrow, meaning the 24th of August. As you can see, marginal risk continues over in Colorado areas and the Sandhills of Nebraska. But as far as the major risks, like we typically see, tornadoes, wind, not anything huge right now. Just keep this in mind that this area here could likely be increased. That would be, if I were to make a best educated estimate, is this area here would probably see a higher risk than this 5% risk that they have. And then if we take a look at day 3, I'm trying to get all these done here so that we can kind of see what the big picture, okay? So day 3, this ends up being that Sunday into Monday type thing. That's where we have this risk. And as you saw on the GFS, it was showing there was some storms up in the northern part of South Dakota. So biggest risk is going to be up in the North Dakota area and Minnesota, but then there will be some things that creep in here. Now, it remains to be seen how this plays out, but I do suspect there could end up being a slight push towards the south on this slight risk. Folks over in Pierre. So if I draw this out for you, I think they would probably end up extending this far back, which that ends up being over in Pierre area, basically central South Dakota. And then the additional risks that are there, it's a little hard to see because we just have a probabilistic, okay? So the biggest risk, again, is showing up in Grand Forks, Jamestown, Fargo, Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and Aberdeen, South Dakota. But again, possibly pushing that off. Let's go ahead and remove the surface map information here. And we'll remove this as well. And let's go ahead and take a quick gander at our development areas for tropics. Let's see what we have there. We'll shut the GFS off and we'll go to our tropical models. Excuse me, still not feeling the best. So this one here, trying to get its act together, but going to continue to stay out in the ocean. It could, this one here could possibly impact, this development here, could impact areas of Hawaii. As you can see on the 25th, a couple days out yet, that would be still a tropical storm. But here on the 26th, we could end up having a hurricane Hone. Okay. And then, again, this one here, development, is still kind of on track for areas of, this would be Invest 92, and it's because it's a tropical depression right now. It's not a tropical storm yet, but anticipated to get to a Hurricane Gilma maximum punch there, and hopefully it loses its steam and does not have a direct impact over the next week or so to areas of Hawaii. That is what I'm showing for tropics. We do still anticipate to have development over in the Atlantic. And I'm going to pull that up here real quick for you, so that way you have the latest information on that. So let's go ahead and pull that up here. Going to have to do some quick adjusting on this so that you can see that correctly. All right. Sorry, moving all kinds of stuff here for you. what you do when you're wanting to get this updated correctly. But all right. So as you can see, we do still anticipate to have further development into areas of the Atlantic, August 28th through the 3rd. However, the above average temperature probabilities right in, I'm not sure if it's going to show that on yours or not. It does not look like it is. So I'll have to kind of wing it. So in the area of like Louisiana and extreme southeast part of the United States, kind of where that light yellow is, there is a greater than 50% chance of above average temperatures probability. And then as you can see, September 4th through the 10th, again, we do have that greater than 40% chance of tropical development. There's things that have been shifting a little bit. I don't want you to let your guard down, but there's things that are shifting a little bit to where there could be an Atlantic La Nina. I've still got to figure out what that is. It's a term that I'm not familiar with, but it would suggest that maybe there's going to be a little bit of a tough time for hurricane season out in the Atlantic. I don't. It's exact opposite of what they were expecting. So we'll have to see what happens with that. All right. So next thing that I wanted to kind of show you, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our outlooks for temperatures. Here comes that cold. All right, there's the cold. We got that coming on. 6 to 10 day outlook over in Roundup, Billings, Montana, Cody, Wyoming, Casper, all 40% chance of temperatures being below normal for the next 6 to 10 days. Now, what does that entail? 6 to 10 days. This ends up being between August 28th and September 1st. So the end of August is going to have a quick flip of a switch into fall. And as far as precip goes, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at that. Wrong one there. So during that same time frame, we are expecting more moisture to be hitting areas of Minneapolis and Minnesota area, as well as parts of South Dakota. Is in a 33% chance of precip being above normal, and parts of Iowa 40%. So that would probably be in line with regards to the storms that move through. Might have a couple of waves here, but the biggest thing is my expectation would be that we'll probably end up getting an excessive rainfall outlook for some of these areas over that 6 to 10 day time frame, because, well, let's just show. Let's take a quick peek at that. So the August 28th through the September 4th, excessive rainfall. So we have over in our lovely monsoon area here, day 2 still over there, day 3 still. Wow, those guys cannot catch a break. Yep, they don't have that showing yet. It looks like New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah areas, excessive rainfall outlooks there. So they don't have that updated to support that there's going to be excessive rainfall. But again, as time goes by, we could end up having some quite a bit of moisture. Let's pop in and take a quick peek at the GFS for dew points And the only reason why I want to go out for the GFS is so that we can show that moisture. So the deeper shades of blue and dark colors here, that ends up being the higher dew points. All right. So let's take a look. Usually what I try to explain to everybody is that when you start seeing this here, on everything on this side within this region is higher dew points. And then we have a drier air right there. Okay. Doing a lot of drawing. So let's go ahead and get to it. Put this into motion. And up at the top is your time frame. Again, these are all Central Daylight Time. As you can see, the moisture pops in here for tomorrow. Look at that. Oof, just want to see some numbers on there. This is what we're talking about, folks. Sticky, sticky mess. Near 70-degree dew points. That's just muggy as all get out. So lots of water. Make sure that you drink lots of water. And then as you can see on the 24th, as we go into the 25th, still have that mugginess, but by Sunday, take a look at this. 35-degree dew point, 20. You know, lots of difference here. So we have 36-degree dew point there, 57. So typically, you know, we need a lot of other factors here, but typically this would tell me this is likely where these storms are going to fire up, right in this area, and then they'll push off and follow that moisture. So let's take a look at that. And that would be on the 25th, so Sunday into Monday. And then the moisture comes back for a brief bit. And that's why we, again, a couple of waves coming through here. That's why, again, we end up seeing possibility of storms on Monday because, again, we have that huge contrast. We got the 60-degree dew points here, and then we do have 20-degree dew points, 33-degree dew points. You know, if there was a much closer and then we see moisture come back in. So we're going to have, you know, I can see why they would put out that we're going to have a higher than normal precip for basically the end of August because of the fact that all these different waves, you know, what I see happening here is this is a definite weather pattern change. There are going to be lots of blips here and there where we're going to have the moisture coming in, and then all of a sudden just a day of dry, and then all of a sudden it comes right back in. So that's the latest that we have from the 605 Chaser Studios. I'm going to be doing these updates like this versus live. The only time that I'm going to go live, I think, at this point in the studio is going to be if there's severe weather. Obviously, it depends on my work schedule. But I appreciate y'all joining. Again, be sure that you drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, because it's going to be a sticky, sticky mess for the next couple of days. There's that forecast again showing upper 80s, low 90s for the next few days. And then finally some relief, however stormy. Okay. Again, Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution, and Refuel, all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Check them out today. Go there and meet with a coach. Mission Nutrition, Jeremy and Sarah Wambach, and Fit Revolution. You got Caleb there, as well as CJ and Refuel, Jody. Those are the primary coaches. They, of course, have many other coaches there, but those are the ones that own those. And you definitely got to check them out so that you can stay fit throughout the wonderful fall and winter transition. When you have to stay inside, it's hard to keep that physique where you want it. And Prairie Pro General Contractors, if you need a roof, siding, whatever it is, make sure that you contact them today to get a quote. PrairieProSD.com. You can request a quote through their online website. Otherwise, you can call them at 605-305-3546. So that is all that we have for the weather today. Stay safe, everybody. God bless.